So I bought a 2020 Fender Player Series Telecaster not that long ago with the intention of, I wanted a white Telecaster and I wanted it with dual humbuckers. Unfortunately, outside of the Squier Contemporary series and the Jim Root signature Telecaster, there's not many regular dual humbucker Telecasters. Now there's the Deluxe, but I didn't want the big pickguard and the big 70s CBS style headstock. I wanted like what I consider a traditional Telecaster. I knew some work was going to be needed. I had dug around and I was informed that the Player Series Telecasters were routed for dual humbuckers. So I ordered one, and the more I started looking into it, the more I think I was misled, because when it showed up, I didn't think that once I pulled that bridge off, there was going to be a routing for a humbucker under there, and I was right. It was routed for a single coil in the bridge position. So I got kind of overzealous, and I'd ordered a new bridge before the guitar came in, and the string spacing was correct, but I was going to have a hole where the bridge wouldn't cut up. Like, the bridge in a pickup ring weren't going to cover up everything, because while the pickup ring would cover up the routing for the humbucker, it wouldn't cover up part of the routing for the original single coil. So I had to go with the long bridge that you just mount the humbucker into. So I ordered one of those that were supposed to work for Fender Telecasters, and the string spacing was off. But this also gave me the opportunity. I decided that I was going to go with black hardware. So I ordered a black high mass steel bridge with brass saddles and a black control plate. And since I changed my mind, I took the chrome Fender locking tuners off and ordered a set of black Fender locking tuners and put those on. Now, this was my first. Usually I try to stay away from mods that are permanent, just because if I ever decide to sell the guitar, then it doesn't lose any value because I made a permanent change to the guitar. But however, I don't plan on selling this one, so I was going to bite the bullet and route it out. So I ordered a template, which I highly recommend. Instead of trying to freehand it, just order a template. You can get them from StewMac, you can find them on Amazon, and I mean, for the cost, $10 to $15 depending on where you get it from, it's worth it. It makes it so much easier. So the first thing I did is I put the new bridge on, and I used dowel pins in the 6th and the 1st string holes, since it's a string through body, to kind of help me with just keeping it lined up. And I center punched the holes for the screws to hold the bridge down. Then I removed it. I put some painter's tape down. Then I installed the bridge, traced around where the humbucker location is, and then I pulled all that off, put my template over it, secured the template in place, and we went to work. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't as nerve-wracking as I thought it was going to be. My template was fairly secure, so I wasn't worried about it slipping or sliding. So once I got everything going, it wasn't that bad. I was surprised. I'm not a big router guy. It actually kind of emboldened me a little bit to maybe route some battery boxes or holes for battery boxes into some of my other guitars. I thought about doing it with this one, but I can fit everything under the control plate, which we'll get to. But I routed out for the pickup, and it worked out good. I was really surprised. I shouldn't say I was surprised. Usually I have bad luck, but we'll get to that. And everything fit perfectly. Now, I did forget to make clearance for the screws that hold the pickup to the bridge. I ended up, instead of just, you know how you get like those elongated like holes, I guess, that they route in there, I just made a mark where the screw was. There was a little bit of an indent into the paint, or into the body. I just drilled it out, because it's not like this pickup's going to be moving inches either way. So I secured the bridge. After I removed all the painter's tape, I bolted the bridge down, screwed the bridge down. I don't know why I said bolted. Screwed the bridge in place and secured it. It was a little crooked. I went back and straightened it out. Got the pick guard, black. I went with a black pick guard. Stuck the pickup in there, bolted it down. Everything fit. So when I did all that, I didn't have the new control plate yet. It was supposed to come. I did the bulk of the work on a Friday. The control plate was supposed to come on a Monday, but it then ended up coming the next day, which worked out. So I got it. In the meantime, until the control plate showed up, I used the original plate, and I ordered the EMG three-way switch just so I didn't have to dick with the bus, and I could just use the switch and save room, because there's not a lot of room in the control cavities. And that's when I discovered I was going to have to... I could fit everything, but the plate didn't sit quite right with the battery in there, so I had to get the router back out, and I routed the cavity down a little bit, because there's it's lower where the switch is than it is where the potentiometers are. So I just dropped the bit down, and I used a top bearing bit, so I didn't have to worry about a template or going beyond the route that was already there. And I routed out the bottom, and this is where I fucked up, because I shut the router off, and like an idiot I didn't wait for it to quit spinning, and I went to pull it out of the body, and I nicked the edge of the cavity. Luckily the plate covers it, but I guess that's what I get for getting cocky with the pickup routing working so well. But my control plate showed up, I bolted it all together, and it looked good. I went with the Jim Root set because I had them in another guitar and they sounded good in that guitar, but I kind of dismantled it because I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that other guitar yet. All in all, it sounds really good. I do like the Jim Root Daemonum, whatever, the Jim Root EMG set. Kind of gives you the best of both worlds with the retroactives and the... I'd say it sounds more like a retroactive version of the EMG 8160 combo set, which is basically what he was going for, to my understanding. But, I mean, they work really well. It has qualities that I like about both sets of pickups. I only used the retroactive 77s so far, but, no, they're good pickups. But everything works pretty well, and I got everything to fit in the control cavity, so it turned out alright. But, you know, I guess probably the best thing to do now is to shut up and play so you can hear how it sounds. So that's I guess it's kind of an amalgamation of a John 5 and a Jim Root Telecaster, because John 5 has that style bridge on his signature tellies, and then the rest of it's basically inspired by Jim Root. I know the question would be is why not just get the Jim Root guitar, and the answer there is I thought about it, but then I would have had to drill a hole for a tone control, because I do like having a tone knob, and I kind of wanted that more sort of traditional look. I like the juxtaposition of having like a classic style guitar that doesn't necessarily look like it's made for metal and playing metal on it. Whereas I do like the Jim Root signature guitars, but I just like having that extra option to have either two volumes or have one of them be a tone knob. So not having the control plate there and the way his is set up, it just wasn't really what I was looking for. So, I mean, don't take my choice in not purchasing it as a sign that I think it's a bad guitar. It just wasn't what I was going for in that moment with this project. You know, let me know what you think in the comments below. If you could, it really does help to, you know, like, dislike, comment, subscribe. It makes a difference, and you know, it lets me know what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong, where I need to improve, and all that type of stuff. And I welcome constructive criticism. So, you know, there's things that I can do better. Obviously, you know, a better camera setup would work, but you know, it is what it is for the moment. But thanks for taking the time to watch, and we'll catch you in the next video.